Hello everybody. On today's genealogy tutorial, I will be discussing how to navigate the world family tree on Genie.com. For today's example, I will be using Abraham Lincoln's family tree, and we'll be viewing it in what's known as the Flash family tree. Now there's two family trees that you can view on Genie, the Flash tree and the HTML tree. The Flash tree requires Flash software to be able to use it. The benefit to this is that you have more ability to manipulate the view of the family tree so that you can better understand it. Now, if you don't have Flash, you can still use the HTML version of the family tree. You just have less options with it. Now, to look at the different parts of the family tree, all you really have to do starting out is click and drag. So if we want to look over here, all we have to do is just click and drag, and we will see what's on this part of the family tree. Now, you can also go a little bit faster by clicking one of these arrows. There's one on the left, one on the top, one on the right, and one on the bottom. And you can also use these arrows down here. So if I click this arrow, scroll left, and same thing if I click this arrow. If I want to click this, I can go right, or I can click this to go right. This just allows you to navigate a little bit more smoothly throughout the tree. Now, if you get a little lost in the family tree and you want to get back to what's known as the focal person, or the person where the family tree is based around, you want to go to this little picture in the bottom left. Now, this little picture will be the picture of your focal person, and when you click that, it takes you right back to them. Now, once you're back to this person, if you want to change the focal person, you can do that in a few ways. You can either click the tree link down here. So if we wanted to view Mary Todd Lincoln's tree, we could click this little tree link right here, or this little green tree with this plus 874. Now, what this 874 stands for is that if we click this, there are going to be 874 people that we will view in Mary Todd Lincoln's family tree that we weren't viewing before in Abraham Lincoln's family tree. And so if we look back over at Abraham Lincoln, now it says 1,882. So we could click that to view his tree, or we can just click this button, and that takes us to make him the focal point of the tree. Now, viewing the world family tree on Genie is really cool because family trees are not 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional or 5-dimensional. They're infinitely dimensional. People have married all sorts of other people. They've had all sorts of kids who have then had kids with other people, and the connections between everyone in the world are quite amazing. And having this world family tree where all of these trees can be merged into one really makes it so that you can see how connections are a lot closer than we think. But back to actually just navigating the tree. Now, those are some of the basic parts, but the advanced parts really come down to these three little buttons down here: Navigate, Go To, and Preferences. If we click Navigate, this is just going to give us a big overview of the tree in one small little picture. So this is the entire family tree for Abraham Lincoln in one little picture. Now, this is all based on the preferences of how our views are right now, which we'll go over in a bit on how to change those. Now, if we want to go to a specific person in the family tree and we know them by name but aren't quite sure which way to go to get there, you can click Go To, and it's going to load every single person in the family tree by name. So if we want to go to a specific person, so let's look up someone here. Let's see. So let's find one of the Lincolns. So let's say Mary Elizabeth Lincoln. So if we want to find her, we just click that and it takes us right to her. And you can do that with anybody. So here we want to find Robert Lincoln. There we go. Takes us right to him. So if you know them, it just does it by last name. So if you want to go to the W's, you can click the W here, or the Z. Now every once in a while you might get some numbers, or you might have other languages, and you'll find those towards the end. You may also find some different people with punctuations or question marks. So you'll have all sorts of variants with this. Now, the third part, this is where you really get to manipulate the tree so that you can better research it and understand it. And that's our preferences. Now, there's a lot to it, but the big piece is over here on the left. This allows you to change how many generations you can view. It goes all the way up to 19, and then after you get to 19, it goes to all. But that usually takes a long time to load, and sometimes it'll time out if it's too large of a tree, usually ones that are connected to the biblical tree. So once we choose how many generations we want, it's going to reload that family tree with that amount of generations. Now, what's really great about being able to manipulate the family tree this way is you can really get a better idea of the tree in certain ways. So let's say we really want to view the tree of Abraham Lincoln, but in a way where we're really only seeing him, his kids, and his ancestors. Well, we can bring his descendants down to one, and that's basically just going to show one generation of descendants, which are his children. So this is now going to bring it up where we're going to see just Abraham Lincoln and his children. On top of that, we can actually see the children of his siblings as well. And it's going to show his aunts and uncles, their children, and their grandchildren. Now, the reason why it's going to show the children and grandchildren of his aunts and uncles is because it's showing their descendants to the same generation as one descendant below him. So one generation below him. So we're going to get all of that. But let's say that we really don't want all of this extraneous stuff with his siblings and their kids and his cousins and their kids. All we really want is Abraham Lincoln, his kids, and his ancestors. Well, we go back to preferences and we go to direct ancestors only. So once we click the direct ancestors only button, this is going to make it so that all we're going to see is the focal person of our tree, which is Abraham Lincoln, his children, and his ancestors. And this is going to show the ancestors up to 10 generations as we've indicated. So we can view a whole bunch of them. But let's say we want to view just a few generations. We really want to get a view of his family as he knew it and a lot of the ancestors that he knew by name. So here we have Abraham Lincoln, his parents and his grandparents and his kids. And so we can keep manipulating the family tree in different ways just by using these generations. So we can view it in different ways. Now we can go back and unclick direct ancestors. And now we have it so that we are viewing Abraham Lincoln, his parents, his children, his siblings and their children, his aunts and uncles, their children and their grandchildren. Now, some other pieces in the preferences area are the tree layout, where you can just change the way the tree layout looks. And this is mostly aesthetics. Personally, I really enjoy the standard, but you have vertical, you have your names only, photos only, and standard's my preference. And with each one, there's different layout options. So in standard, you can show photos or you can make it so you don't see photos. You can do what's known as flip nodes, where if you flip nodes, what that means is that you go over the profile and it's going to flip the node and show you all that information. So here we're getting Mary Todd Lincoln. Sometimes it takes a little while to load. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of flip nodes. And with flip nodes, you can make it where you have to click it to flip. So sometimes it takes a little while to load for things. So always let things load. But so if we're hovering over, it's not going to do it. But if we click it, then there we go. The node is going to flip as per se. So going back to preferences, I like to take that off. Now here we also have show yellow arrows. That's these yellow arrows. That's how you add more people to the family tree. If you do what I did and you click an arrow on someone who's not the focal point, sometimes it'll make them the focal point. But here we can add a brother, a sister, or another spouse. We can add a child, or we can add a parent. But if you want to take those yellow arrows out for just aesthetic reasons, you can do that. make it look a little nicer. Show email prompt is if someone is living, there'll be a little email prompt right here saying you can type in the email. If you don't want to see that, you can just unclick it and you won't see them. This is just going to reload real quick. So there we go. So if you unclick that, so I'm going to click it back and it's going to load back. Now, the other things, you can either center your single parents. If you unclick it, then what it'll do is the women will be over towards the right, the men will be over towards the left, such as you see here, woman over to the right, man over to the left. But let's say if Anne weren't there and all we knew was Brigadier General Robert Smith Todd, then he would actually be right here in the middle if we do center single parents. So that's what that means. Now, mark deceased, that actually marks the profile as deceased, and you'll see that as this little black bar going across over the picture. So if we click that, you'll notice the little black bars disappear. And if we click that again, they reappear. So that's just indicating that they are deceased. We can also do neutral color backgrounds if you just want to make it a little bit easier on your computer color for whatever reason. You can do that. There's also open profiles in new window. If you have that unclicked and you open a new profile, it's going to open it in this same window. So you're going to lose where you are in the tree. I prefer to have open profiles in new window because that way when I click on a profile, it's going to open it in a new tab. Now, this is just one part of the preferences, and that's the display preferences. We also have name preferences, so this is going to make it how the names are displayed. I'm not going to go through each piece because they're all fairly straightforward. You have reverse right to left names. You also have do not guess last names. You have show middle names, show suffixes, ignore display names. All sorts of different options. Revisions, this is going to show you the revision history display preferences. When the family tree is edited, a revision is noted, and so you can see the revisions for 28, 14, 7, 3, or just within the last day. Or you can just hide the revision icons altogether. Now, the advanced over here is going to be your font sizes. So for anyone who has trouble reading the family tree, you can increase the font size. Minimum font size and maximum font size are just the different sizes of each. So if we do minimum font size to 10, it's going to bring all the small font up to 10. And if we do the maximum font sizes, it'll just change that. We can also change date format. So if you prefer the American style month, date, day, year, you can do that. Or you can do day, month, year, or year, month, day. You can also change your rendering quality. So if you're having trouble loading the World Family Tree, you can lower the quality so that you can have it load a lot faster. If you keep having it time out where you're trying to view the tree, lowering that quality may help you get what you're needing. Now, if you end up doing a whole bunch of changes and don't like it and aren't sure how to go back, you can always go to Advanced and go to Restore Defaults. And this is going to restore all the defaults for preferences. Thank you so much for checking out my video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give it the thumbs up. You can also subscribe. It's completely free to do so. You can also become a patron on Patreon and get access to all sorts of extra content. It also helps support this channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. I'm the GeneaVlogger. I'll catch you in my next video.